News exclusive, and we are seeing what happened in the moments right before a gunman opened fire inside a restaurant in Manhattan. Began with an argument inside the eatery in Inwood in Upper Manhattan. It ended with one person dead and two others injured. Eyewitness News reporter Sandra Bookman is live at the scene in Inwood with the very latest on the investigation. Sandra.
Yeah, Liz, we are right outside the Floridita restaurant. It is still closed at this hour. Now, sources told us early on it was a fight inside the restaurant that triggered the gunfire. In the exclusive video you're about to see, it appears it was a fight really about nothing that had deadly consequences. Even louder than the elevated number 1 train, the sound of gunfire inside the Floridita restaurant around 5 this morning. Security camera video reportedly being circulated among restaurant regulars and obtained exclusively by Eyewitness News appears to show exactly what triggered the violence. Watch closely as the guy in the red jacket in the center of the screen appears to accidentally bump a man to his left as he passes him. That man in the dark shirt seems to reject the apology. As the two exchange words, the man in red punches the man in black, who falls to the floor. And as a third man in a shearling jacket bends over him, a fourth man in blue fires the gun. Police say when the bullets stopped flying, a 28-year-old man was dead and two other people, a 58-year-old woman and a 29-year-old man, had been both shot in the leg. As the NYPD crime scene unit cataloged the scene, restaurant regulars shook their heads and wondered how a neighborhood hotspot became a crime scene.
People are very warm and friendly, and especially overnight when you have like a little hangover, you come here for a soup. But they're very friendly, they have security all the time. Just find it very weird that this happened.
Detectives spent the day going door to door looking for other security camera video that might help them find the shooter. The video from inside the restaurant yielded a vague description of the suspect. Police say they're looking for a black man in his 30s, heavyset, and wearing a blue jacket. Back here live in Inwood near 206th Street and 10th Avenue. Now, neighbors tell us that this restaurant is very popular. The food is good and it is open 24 hours a day. So it's really popular with people that are leaving nightclubs around here. They speculate whether or not alcohol used by some of those club goers may have fueled this altercation that ended up being deadly.
What's good, y'all? What's the Numbers TV? It's your boy, Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And hit the like button if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers TV is I provided. Today, we back into the profile piece. This one is on Fatt Todd. In this video, we're going to talk about his early years coming up in Harlem. Then we'll speak about Todd's love for his friends and his neighborhood that will be displayed throughout his story. After that, we're going to highlight Todd's infatuation with the nightlife, where you could see him out and about almost every night of the week, before finally breaking down the situation that will leave Fatt Todd in jail, having to prove in the court of law that his murder charge was actually a self-defense situation. Fatt Todd, real name Todd Drayton, is from Harlem, New York. Growing up there was fun for a young Todd, as he built a strong friend group that traveled with him throughout life. Todd was a jokester. He wasn't necessarily a bad kid, but he was into a lot of things. And as he got older, some of the things he was into became a priority in his life. Getting money was one of the things that Todd was focused on from an early age. And after linking up with a couple of kids that had the same mindset as him, Todd dove into the streets as a hustler. He learned the game from those before him, as Harlem has a rich hustler and drug dealing history dating back to the Nicky Barnes and Guy Fisher era. Todd's notoriety grew gradually over time, and after a few years he was comfortable with his position in the streets. As long as he had money to party and travel, Todd would be content with his life. Todd was also multifaceted and would do a little acting in a web series called Prado that was based out of Harlem. From there, Todd would jump into the rap game. His rap name would be Fatt, and he wanted his rap persona to mimic his real life. So his music was mostly drug rap, with some clever punchlines thrown in there once in a while. All of it would be the last song and video Fatt would release to the public via YouTube in July 2019. It got over 10,000 views and had some people anticipating Fatt's next song. But unfortunately for Fatt and his fans, that wouldn't happen, because in January of 2020, Fatt would go on the run after a video of him shooting and killing a man in a Dykeman restaurant was released to the public. According to reports, an altercation popped off between one of Fatt's friends and another man. It started off with words before turning physical. Fatt's friend was assaulted, and when he fell to the ground, another man that was with the opposing group bent down and cut Fatt's friend on his face. That's when Fatt pulled a gun he had on him and shot dead the man that cut his friend. Fatt would disappear in the night before cops showed up and would remain a fugitive for the next 18 months, but was eventually caught and arrested while attending a friend's funeral in July of 2021. Rikers Island will be the next stop for Fatt, as he was held there as he awaited his day in court. Then, almost 4 years later in May of 2025, Todd's murder trial would begin. The whole trial process lasted about 2 weeks, with Fatt being found not guilty on the murder, but guilty of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, and also guilty of criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree. Fatt will be sentenced to 8 years in the New York State prison system, with his earliest release date being in June of 2028. Fatt Todd is currently serving his time in Bear Hill Correctional Facility and is 37 years old at the time that this video was recorded. But yo, it's What's the Numbers TV. This is a quick profile piece on Fatt Todd, Fatt, Lavish Fatts, whatever you want to call him. You know, a lot of people in Harlem know him. A lot of people in nightlife know him. A lot of people in New York City know him. You understand what I'm saying? He's been a staple out here for a while. From acting, he started rapping, to going out, to traveling, to going to Miami. These different spots. He been, been around. He got a group of friends that they move around, they do their thing. And Fats was a big part of that. He was a big part of his friend circle, and he was outside. So with that being said, he will be hitting the streets again in a few years, right? He got a release date. I think he maxed out. It's 2029. He got a parole date of 2028. I don't know if he do some programs that might shorten his sentence. I'm not sure. Now, like I say, he will be hitting the streets again. Now, what they saying is that he killed the big tribu, the big patria, the big trinitario, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? They saying that he killed one of the big dogs over there. So it was allegedly some beef. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how it played out with him in jail. Supposedly they saying that Todd, he turned blood while he was in jail or something. Supposedly. You understand? I think he had some issues with the Max. Some people were trying to tell me, it was a lot going on. But at the end of the day, he stood strong. He picked 12. He took him to trial. And he got a not guilty verdict on the main charge of murder. So, you understand? He fought for his life and he got it now. When you in the belly of the beast, the prison system, you're going to go through ups and downs. There's going to be situations. But at the end of the day, they didn't break him because he still was able to get a not guilty verdict, and he will be home in a few years, right? God willing. Now, his mans, they still out here, his friends, they still out here moving. And also, it was a female that was involved in that situation. Shout out to her. She stood tall. She took her to trial also and got a not guilty verdict. You understand? She could have threw certain. I'm sure she had an opportunity to throw Todd under the bus, but she didn't, man. So salute to her. But because a lot of rats out here, man, she could have easily, but she stood tall, man. So we make sure we salute to her. You understand? And other than that, man, ain't too much left, man. We just gonna wait and see how it all plays out on the come home for Fatt. Will he start rapping again? Will he start acting again? Will he fall back and bump his head and just fall back from the limelight? Will he be back outside? We gotta wait and see, man. But at the end of the day, he will be home soon. His time is short, and that was a crazy situation. And if you watch the video, right, he really was helping his friend. You understand? He wasn't involved in the initial situation. His friend and another guy got into it. The other guy punched his friend. His friend fell. When his friend fell, another guy that was with the guy that his friend was arguing with bent down and cut him. That's when Fatt pulled out and killed the guy. But he also shot some innocent bystanders. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, it was a crazy situation. And he stood up for his friend. Right? So, I just wanted to have that. Wanted to make sure that was noted. But other than that, man, it's What's the Numbers TV. It's your boy, Paul Rowe. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow the Instagram. Follow the TikTok. Salute to Batty Bills, Federal A, all the members of the Mobb, WB400. Any business, Paul Rowe, What's the Numbers at yahoo.com. And be back before you know it, man. It's What's the Numbers TV. Your boy, Paul Rowe. I'm out of here. Peace.